Okay, welcome to part 2, year 9. So we've only got 8 questions left, so let's get through these ones, okay? So let's start with question number 13. So it says simplify 15 to 55. Now this is a ratio, but ratios work in exactly the same way that fractions do. So we've just got to find a number, preferably the highest number, that goes into both of these. So what goes into 15 and 55? Well, the number 5 does. So let's divide both sides by 5. So if I divide 15 by 5, how many 5s go into 15? 3. And then I want to know how many 5s go into 55, and that would be 11. So the answer to this one is 3 to 11, okay? Because we can divide both sides by 5, but then when we get to 3 and 11, there's nothing that goes into both of those numbers, so I know that it's the smallest one that it possibly can be. Next one then says 132 to 156. Now these are quite big numbers, aren't they? So a little bit scarier. Why don't we start by just kind of dividing them both by 2 to make them a little bit smaller, okay? So just halving them on both sides. And we've got another annoying 9. So if I half 132, remember we always chunk it in class. So if I half 100, I get 50. If I half 30, I get 15. And if I half 2, I get 1. So therefore the answer would be 66. Okay, so we know that half of 132 is 66. And then a half of 156, half of 100 is 50, plus half of 50 is 25, so I'd have 75, plus half of 6 is 3, so 78. Okay, and then like we do in class, because we do find it a little bit difficult with our times tables, why don't we just halve it again? So let's divide it by 2 on this side, so we'd get 33. If we divide it by 2 on this side, we'd get 39. Now those are a little bit more manageable, those numbers, aren't they? And from these numbers, I can see that actually 3 goes nice and easily into both of these. So why don't we divide both of these now by 3? So I know that there are 11 3s in 33, and I know that there are 13 3s that go into 39. So that's my final answer there, 11 to 13. Okay, on to some more money questions then. So this time I'm trying to do 9 times £40 and 60p. So let's split this one up like we normally do. So we can do 9 times £40, and then we can do 9 times 60p. So what's 9 times 4? Well, 9 times 4 is 36, and then I can add my 0. So I know that 9 times £40 is £360. Now, 9 times 6 is 54, and I've got to add my 0 in, but I've only got 60p, okay? So 9 times 60p is £5.40, okay? So then I've just got to add them together, so 360 plus £5.40 would just be £365.40p. Okay, next up I've got 4 times £13.20. So this time we can just split it up again. So we can do 4 times £10, we can do 4 times £3, and we can do 4 times 20p. So we know that 4 times 10, sorry about the line again, 4 times £10 is £40, don't we? That one's nice and easy. 4 times £3, that's nice and easy as well. That's £12. And 4 times 20p, we know that that's 60p. So then all I've got to do is add those together. So eventually, if I added them together, I would get £52 and 60p as my very final answer. Except I have clearly made an error here because 4 times 20 is actually 80. So therefore the actual answer would £52 and 80p, wouldn't it? Because I've got 4 times 20p, which equals 80p. Okay then, on to question 17. So we're going to find the median. Now if we remember, median just means middle. So I've got to put them in order, and then I've got to find out which one's in the middle. So the lowest number here is 0.9. Cross that one out. Next lowest, we've got 1.3. Cross that one out. Then I've got 2.1. Cross that one out. Then I've got 2.3. Cross that one out. Then I've got 2.5. Okay, so there are 5 numbers, so the middle number is the third one. So there's my answer there, 2.1. Now I've got to do the same for this one. Okay, so I'm going to put them in order from lowest to highest. So my lowest number here is number 6, so I'm going to write 6 first. Next lowest would be number 7, so I'm going to write 7. Next up would be number 9, so I'm going to write number 9. Then I would have number 10. Then I've got 13. And then I've got 13 again. Okay, so I've written those in order. I've got 6, 7, 9, 10, 13, 13. Now here we've got a little bit more of a confusing one because we've got 6 numbers, haven't we? And there's not really a middle number for 6. But we know that the middle would be here, between the third and the fourth number. So the median is halfway between 9 and 10. So what is halfway between 9 and 10? Well, it's 9.5. So that would be our middle one, okay? So if you've got an even number of numbers, all you've got to do is find the middle, and then the 2 numbers either side, find the middle point between those 2, okay? Last but not least then, we've got some equivalent fractions. Now the word equivalent just kind of means like the same, so it wants you to figure out the same fraction, giving you just the numerator, okay? So what we've got to do, we've got to figure out how did we get from 7 to 63 by multiplying. What did we multiply 7 by to get to 63? Now we multiplied it by 9 in this case, okay? Because 7 times 9 is 63. So if I know that I times the top by 9, I've got to times the bottom by 9 as well. So if I do 11 times 9, I'm going to get 99, and I know that that's the answer there. So 7 over 11 is exactly the same as 63 over 99. Now this one's a little bit easier really. So what did I times 2 by to get to 14? So I did 2 times 7 equals 14. So if I times the top by 7, I'm going to have to do the same to the bottom. So 5 times 7 is 35. So there's my answer for the bottom one. So 2 over 5 is exactly the same as 14 over 35. Perfect, so make sure you've marked your answers, year 9, and you've given yourself a mark out of 20. Well done.